And here we are, just before the finals. We're about to go and take a look at the usage stats for this Premier Challenge. Coming up, we are going to see...
Solo for a moment and...
There we go. Alright, and we see the Landers still at the top of Singapore's meta game.
Yeah, we had, I believe, around 45 days. You can see Landers actually still more than half. Yeah,
still about half. Kangaskhan following as usual, and the rest of the we see Chalk again, except Sylveon has taken place of Amogus, which suddenly dropped all the way from the top 6 to 10th position with only 7 people playing Among Us today. Charizard coming back up. Talonflame, strangely enough, at number 9.
Charizard and Talonflame being more or less the same position.
Yeah, except Charizard has 2 more Pokemon than Talonflame. We see Sylveon still holding strong in Singapore. I think the last time it was like 6 of them, now there are 17.
Yes, I mean, Sylveon, I remember there was one time where a lot of Singaporeans were using Sylveon and we were all putting Hyper Beam because of
to be fair, Hyper Beam takes out Kangaskhan, it takes out Slowbro, it takes out random things, it takes out Rotom W if you're not specially defensive.
Talking about Rotom W is way down 19 there, so you don't really see too often nowadays compared to last time.
In fact, we don't even see God of War anymore. Last time it used to be like all the rage during the time leading after Worlds. And Salamence and Charizard actually coming back to normal. And we see, actually, Azumarill still holding around the 13th to 14th position, not exactly.
And of course, we had Ludicolo more than Polito, and as you can see, that I believe Nicholas Ong was it? That used Ludicolo without Polito, which not normal, but if he votes for him, he did get into the top 8 after all.
Gengar at number 17th position. I'm pretty sure that Theron, since he was playing, was using a Mega Gengar at one point in time. Probably today.
It's kind of, I believe he was playing both Gengar and Kangaskhan, so not really contributing to the Gengar ratio here, but Kangaskhan here 18 to 25, this is quite a big difference to be honest.
Yeah. It's like,
I mean, I wouldn't say it's surprising.
Yeah, I mean, Singapore in general has the Singapore people in general just seem to really like using Landers a lot. There was a point in time when Heatran was number 1, but he's fallen back to 6th position.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same position along with VGC16 as well. Both are the steel types pretty much.
Yeah, and the other steel type of consideration is all the way at number 20th position, Bishop.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about how Bishop was popular back there, and now you see it's...
Yeah.
I think 4 is still a bit, it's
still better than nothing,
better than Greninja.
And I remember Milotic used to be actually quite high in the last Premier Challenge, and now it's around the same tier as Bishop, which is kind of strange because Landers is still the big thing here.
And both of them are good Pokemon with abilities that kind of go against Intimidate, and the Intimidate users is like the top Pokemon forever.
Yeah, and it's like it feels like there's very little here to actually check Landers, apart from maybe the Aegislash. Of the top maybe top 10, only Aegislash and maybe Cresselia are the only ones that really want to fight Landorus. The rest of them don't really seem eager to tangle with him, and that's kind of strange considering that it's the number 1 Pokemon in Singapore.
Oh, I like how we technically went from one side across the other side of the country to hold the event deck, but we still had the same people, the same Pokemon. So
everyone wants those CP points. And then we are starting to see a bit of weird stuff towards the
I mean, we do have Speargle, not dead yet. Ferrothorn though, I mean, Ferrothorn did manage to get into top 4, and you see it very low on the usage stats. I mean, Ferrothorn not something used often.
Considering the fact there are like 3 fire types all the way at the top 10, I don't think Ferrothorn is actually doing so well.
It used to be that good wind condition tag. A lot of fire types nowadays.
I think it's just because Singapore in general has a more offensive. We go for more offensive Pokemon rather than defensive stalling, switching. So Ferrothorn is not as, it doesn't really have as much leeway to actually start setting up Leech Seed, start setting up Protect, and his partners might not be enough to protect it.
Because unfortunately for Ferrothorn, you need to take care of his threats, and there are a lot of threats in this meta game right now, especially as you mentioned, all the fire types out there.
Yeah.
And these fire types aren't easy to deal with either, especially Heatran. Heatran's gonna just be stuck there.
In fact, I would say the best thing that the best Pokemon to actually fight Heatran, this is my personal opinion, is actually Rotom Wash, and that's all the way at the 19th position. Yeah, I mean, Rotom is, unlike maybe saying Azumarill, Rotom takes not very effective from most of Heatran's attacks, unless Heatran is running Dark Pulse or something.
I mean, looking at this now, we're all thinking about how Metagame is going to be, but then again, next year is going to be totally different.
Yeah. And I guess these stats are probably only going to be as useful as going up to the Malaysia regionals next week.
But after that, even the Singapore
regionals in January will probably be using the new format VGC16, which will
I believe you'll see Groudon on the top of the list.
Yeah, we'll probably see Groudon. We'll still probably see Kangaskhan. Probably see Kyogre. I'm not sure about the other Pokemon.
Maybe Rayquaza because of some of the height that he has.
Yeah, but this is probably going to be our last statistics that we're going to give for the VGC15 season. And as we can see here, it's like it says a lot about Singapore metagame that we have always the same few Pokemon at the top.
Yes. I mean, people do say that, oh, we are following the chalk metagame, we're behind the metagame, but to be fair, this kind of Landorus Kangaskhan has been used since the start of the year, so...
I think it's also because a lot of our players are still unable to actually have a very, very threatening strategy versus Landorus to make them just stop using Landorus entirely.
Alright, oh, it actually seems like both Kenny and Melvin are actually setting up for their match. We won't really go into it yet since they're still setting up, but... Well, can you see Kenny at the finals again?
Both Kenny and Melvin actually, both of them have about 2 wins in the Premier Challenge right now. So
both almost maxing out their wins right now. One more win here, we have 3 out of 5, and that's actually quite a good record to begin with.
To be fair, you can only...
3 out of 6, sorry. Yeah, 6 best finisher.
And I mean, they have also been doing pretty well. So I mean, if you want to continue going to Premier Challenge, just they need to do consistently well and do better and maybe win. Because I know they've been getting like 2nd place, 3rd place, 8th place. So
I mean, sure, we already done quite a lot of Premier Challenges, but you still have to try and strive yourself to be better, because everybody else is going to do that same thing, and they're going to, even it's an incremental of only 1 or 2 points, it's still 1 or 2 points more.
It'll help in the long run, especially if you tally up regionals, and then maybe you're just like 5 points away from getting the.
Especially if you're like 2 points away from getting the top the card, and then you're like, oh man, I should just went for that 1 extra Premier Challenge, and then. Alright,
and we're gonna go to the battle, I guess.
Yeah, both of them are currently not yet in team preview, just still actually just setting up, just all left to press battle start. And
well, we know Kenny's team is Suicune, Landorus, Cresselia, Heatran, Kangaskhan, and Amoonguss. For Melvin's team, I think it's I'm not sure whether, I don't think the Ferrothorn and Jellicent are supposed to be there, or the Charizard. I think he's running Cresselia, Landorus, Thundurus, Kangaskhan.
If I'm not wrong, it's a Landorus,
There's a Sylveon somewhere.
If I recall, it was Landorus, Heatran, Kangaskhan, Thundurus, Sylveon, Aegislash. I may be wrong.
I think that might be it.
Yeah, let's just hold on until we update the...
I'm not sure whether we will actually update it, but at the same time, it's we'll see. Oh, and there we go. Yeah. And so it's Kangaskhan, Thundurus, Sylveon, Aegislash, Landorus, and Heatran. Now we see that Landorus, Heatran, and Kangaskhan are on both players' teams.
Heatran's not really the top 3, but I mean, it's still quite popular. As mentioned, it's one of the popular fire types, and Heatran don't really go down as easily.
Yeah. With Melvin's new team, I mean, he dropped the Terrakion for, I think, it was a Sylveon Heatran, I'm not sure.
Melvin actually, looking at Melvin's team, might have to try and deal with Amoonguss. Other than Heatran himself, there's not much thing Melvin can do against Amoonguss to get rid of it straight away.
Yeah, that's true. Well, he does have... Aegislash does wall Amoonguss, so if he manages to play Amoonguss into that spot where it's the last Pokemon versus Aegislash, then Melvin pretty much has
it was however, he can't deal with it. I mean, it will still be put to sleep and then nothing he can do after that. Heatran is the only thing that Melvin has outright that can help take care of it. Maybe Taunt, maybe Taunt, but however, Kenny does have several Pokemon to deal with Heatran. Kangaskhan can deal with Heatran relatively well time to time. Landorus and Suicune as well. So we have to see how Melvin actually deals with that Pokemon in particular.
Actually, these two players have been fighting each other for a while already, so I think they might be somewhat familiar to each other's play tactics. Kenny going for his new trademark Kangaskhan Amoonguss lead, as Melvin goes with the Kangaskhan Thundurus leads. Now, Taunt from Thunder is definitely going to stop the Among Us from doing anything drastic. We've known that Melvin might, in previous games, actually, in previous tournaments rather, has used Protect on his inner focus Kangaskhan. We also know from previous games that Kenny also had an inner focus Kangaskhan, but we're not sure whether these are the same Kangaskhan. So
yeah, I mean, you see Kangaskhan every time, but you can't see the abilities straight away. So
judging from the 200,
chances are it's going to be the same since it is the same.
Judging from Melvin's 208 HP Kangaskhan, that's probably quite a high HP Kangaskhan, to be honest.
Yeah.
And Kangaskhan Mega evolves from Melvin's side. Is it faster or is Kenny just inner focus? We don't know.
Probably. Oh, no, it's seems to be faster.
Well, let's just see. Both Kangaskhan's Mega evolving turn 1.
You do have Kanka.
And Among Us going for the Rage Powder.
Nobody using Fake House, it seems.
I suppose that.
One does come onto the Among Us.
Perfectly played by Melvin over there to and now low kick on the Kangaskhan. Oh, but the Among Us Rage Powder.
Really got hit, but nope.
No,
Doesn't matter. I mean, Rocky helmet.
And actually, that was a bit of a weird play on Melvin's side. I mean, going for the low kick and then taunt.
I guess it was probably kind of covering all bases. If it doesn't taunt,
if it doesn't Rage Powder, but at the same time, Kenny's Kangaskhan could have gone for the Go King. That would have taken out the Kangaskhan. So it's a bit.
Right now, Melvin's Disruptor, which is started here, is a bit free to launch off Thunder Wave, things like that.
Yeah.
Probably going to KO after
maybe
that.
Even Swagger
or Swagger. And Kenny's own Among Us can't really do too much
here.
He
can't Rage Powder. And if Melvin's Kangaskhan is the faster variant, then
low kick.
He can probably low kick and take out Kenny's, but I think Kenny has a tendency to run a bulky low kick surviving Kangaskhan. So
we have to see the stat. Now you have to see Melvin. You have to see by trial and error time to time. I mean, good thing for Melvin. He is a best on 3. He could try it out, although it's, losing a game because of that kind of suck. But it is, especially his best on 3 information you can get will be useful on the later 2 battles.
Yes, that's true. Let's see what these players do. Because it feels like a very stale at this point. Nothing really big has happened, even though Kenny has done a lot of damage to the Thunders and Kangaskhan.
It feels more or less even, especially Among Us is taunted, he can't really do anything much. He's probably going to switch out.
For all we know, because Melvin has always been a very good endgame player, he might have some plan to deal with this. Maybe that's why he has gone for the taunt and the low kick.
Actually, Kenny might keep his Among Us in because switching out, Melvin could try and make use of that target whatever Melvin thinks is the right choice.
Kenny does go for the switch on the Among Us. Sending out his lander is also a very good play by Kenny to intimidate, reducing Kangaskhan's attack, making it impossible for Melvin to take out the Kangaskhan, even if he double targets straight into the Kangaskhan. And which Melvin does.
A good thunderbolt straight into the Kangaskhan. Paralyzes the
paralysis! And the Kangaskhan goes for the low kick. It actually is enough, even with the intimidate. That was actually pretty big, I suppose.
Yes, I mean you did get rid of the Mega immediately. Kenny wasn't able to do anything apart from switching his
I guess Kenny was really counting on the fact that with the intimidate, even the double target would not take out his Kangaskhan, but I suppose that wasn't the case.
However, the problem here with Melvin is that his Thunderous is kind of in a trap, and then his Kangaskhan is -1 attack. Not too sure whether he still wants to keep it in or not.
But at this point, we already know, Melvin knows that Kenny has an Among Us, and whatever Pokemon he has next, there's a possibility that he doesn't really want to face Thundurus or Kangaskhan, because Heatran is going to be taken out by Low Kick. Suicune is going to be taken out by T-Bow. Cresselia, maybe, but it's not.
Cresselia will survive, he won't do anything.
But it's not a very powerful attacker, and at the same time, Melvin also still has to watch out for Kenny's Landorus, but he might know that Kenny's Landorus is slow, so he might still have more leeway to work with here.
Kenny sends out Among Us, yeah, I'm not too sure whether he's going to protect his Among Us. Might be a good choice because want to avoid being taunted by Thundurus and
but Kenny does not have Protect on Among Us.
Yeah, but oh yeah, you mentioned
Kenny does not have Protect on
Forgot about that. So that's why Kenny took a long time deciding what he wants to send out. Normally you send out Among Us, maybe protect him, get rid of the Thunderers and then being able to use your Among Us after that. But no protect means you get taunted, your Among Us going to be doing anything.
Melvin playing it very, very safe here. Kenny going a bit too reckless, I would say. And the sludge bomb poison on the Thunderous.
I mean, Thunder survives his 1 HP is amazing. That poison will just enough to kill it.
Yeah.
Well, on the bright side, you do have AD Slash.
He did taunt the Among Us.
Yes.
But now, and I see what Melvin's doing here. He's going to set it up so that White Guard will be able to protect his Heatran from the Landorus while he goes for the Heat Wave.
Wait, Heatran, but I'm not sure whether you want to KO the Among Us so fast right now though.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you want to KO it before taunt.
Yeah, but the problem here being that Landorus might carry superpower, so it might be able to take out the Heatran regardless of White Guard.
True. It's kind of a gamble right here, to be honest. Whether AG Slash wants to, whether Heatran protects and AG Slash targets the Landorus, or Heatran goes for an attack and AG Slash uses White Guard.
To be fair, I would think it would be smarter for Melvin to just protect his Heatran as much as possible, and then just go on the offense with his AG Slash, because I think Heatran might be able to survive one superpower, but definitely not two.
That's the reason.
Or he might just go for the double. But
AG Slash
he's going for the protect, bringing in Kangaskhan to recycle Fake Out.
Good choice. I guess it's a good choice there. I mean, you do Fake Out, you get a free attack off, and then you get to use Sucker Punch the next turn.
I think Melvin realizes that Heatran is a very is a Pokemon that he really needs to protect. But Kenny also sensing that switches out his Among Us for the Suicune to go and somewhat make Melvin's plays a bit more restricted here.
I mean, Suicune is, although he was long KO immediately, is still relatively kind of a threat, especially with Landorus also on the field. Both can just attack into Heatran and then that's it.
Yeah, but with Kangaskhan he can use Fake Out, he can control it somewhat. And if Kenny's Pokemon in the back is Among Us, he does not want to switch it. So if Melvin plays his cards correctly, he can take out the Landorus, and then after that he can focus on this Suicune with his
Kenny's concern now is probably try to take out the Heatran. Once you take out the Heatran, the Among Us come in very safely and can help deal with the Kangaskhan, no problem.
But Melvin's main priority right now is to take out the Landorus or put it within Sucker Punch range, so that after that, ASH can come in and then maybe deal with the
we are back in this position. Melvin wants to get rid of...
but Melvin goes for the Fake Out on the Suicune instead.
Why?
Landorus does go for the superpower onto the Kangaskhan. Did Melvin predict that? Did he think that maybe it doesn't...
Go superpower onto...
Because superpower lowers... No, actually superpower doesn't lower special defense. What am I talking about? Suicune avoids the attack.
Really matter too much.
But the burn is doing so little to Landorus. Assault Test is really giving it a lot. Oh, and now with that superpower, Melvin's actually not in a good position here. Yeah. I mean, Among Us doesn't want to deal with Heatran, but Heatran doesn't want to deal with either Landorus or Suicune, and Aegon Slash is also doesn't want to get Earthquaked.
I mean, it doesn't want to get Earthquake. It can't even using Key Shield against Earthquake doesn't get the penalty because it's not a contact move. Suicune also not really something you want to deal with. It gets burned, but that's pretty much a countdown timer right there for Aegon Slash.
Yeah. So Melvin's already in a very risky position here. It's possible that he might somehow wiggle his way out of this somehow.
He needs to take care of the Landorus as soon as possible.
Yes, but at the same time, it's very difficult because Landorus is the fastest thing on the field right now, and
unfortunately for Melvin, Kenny does have a good late game situation where Landorus and Suicune does in a way threaten both AG.
It could be that Melvin is just and we do see that Melvin's he might have sacrificed his Kangaskhan so that the attack drop will not kill Heatran from this turn onwards, and then he might just be going straight for the attack onto the Landorus with the Aegon. Heatran's going down, but this leaves to pretty much, if Aegon manages to take a Landorus out of this turn, it'll be Suicune and Among Us versus the Aegon.
That one we have yet to see how the game will move on because
but no, Melvin goes for the attack on the Suicune. It could be that he's just throwing the game here, trying to see what items that Kenny has on his Pokemon.
What moves that Suicune might have as well.
Yeah.
I mean, as viewers of this, all these matches, we kind of have an idea what moves they use because they use it for previous matches. But
yes.
They might be, he might be just want to check jumps in case for his own battle, and he might not be watching the other battles.
Or maybe he already knew from the beginning that he didn't have a good lead advantage, so maybe he was like, okay, let's just and maybe at this position he really knew he was not going to win. So like, all right, let's see what's on the Suicune. Let's see what's on the Landorus. Let's figure out what we can do from here on out.
Melvin had a good start, though, to be honest. I mean, at least don't think that because Kenny did push it out, but unfortunately Melvin, I think he didn't really make use of it to full advantage, allowing Kenny to recover back and killing off one key threat, which is mainly the not really the Kangaskhan per se, but at least reducing Melvin to 2 Pokemon, and from there he's kind of advantage already.
Because it feels a lot like at the same time there was a point in time when Kenny sort of read what Melvin was doing and swapped the Suicune in just at the correct time.
Switching out onto Hydra and then Kenny switch out into his Suicune, kind of like a counter switch.
In a way, it feels a bit like Melvin was in a position that he can't really deal with the Suicune too well, with the Landorus too well here.
Well, that score does come on to the AG stage, so it's just a matter of time.
Yeah, and we do see the the leftovers coming out from Melvin's Aegislash. If I'm right, it used to be a substitute variant.
Substitute leftovers?
I'm not sure, never mind. Regardless, I think this is pretty much Kenny's game. Unless Aegislash wakes up prematurely.
Landorus comes in just to take the game like that way of payoffs or something.
Well, we'll see. I think it's still possible that Aegislash can somehow turn the whole game, but
not likely.
Not likely, not very likely. Skull coming out of Suicune, doing nice damage, critical hit.
Still not a lot. Why does Kenny like to bring himself into this situation where he just has to take down one Pokemon left and then it takes a long time to take down that one Pokemon?
Mostly because he might, in a way, it's like playing for a timer victory. It's like you take it down to one Pokemon, then even if you can't bring, you take out everything else you can take out, and then as long as that Pokemon can't do anything to you.
I mean, you think about this way as well. It's kind of good on Kenny that he takes down the offensive threat, leave the defensive Pokemon there and can't do too much damage to you, and then you can just speed away slowly.
At the same time, now with that knockoff, that King Shield, that knockoff is not going to do a lot of damage to Aegislash. However, without leftovers recovery, Melvin is going to be in a bad position to recover from Suicune.
True.
And we know that Suicune Suicune's still bulky, Landorus is still bulky.
Once he gets a bird without leftovers to at least like mitigate a bit of the damage.
Melvin's probably finished from there on out, but at the same time, he still sort of has a chance at the same time.
Skull does come out. Let's see whether he does get the bird.
He does get the bird. I think that's pretty much...
well, that helped finish the game faster.
Yeah. Shadow Ball coming out onto the Landorus. Is it? Yes, the Landorus. Does it take it out? No, it doesn't. Not even enough. Yeah.
I think the one disadvantage that Melvin has here that just by Kenny having Landorus and Suicune, it kind of threatens to start almost everything that he has.
Yeah. Actually, that's pretty true.
Yeah, I mean, Kangaskhan, sure, Kangaskhan is kind of...
I would think though that if Melvin realizes that Kenny doesn't have Snarl on the Suicune, the Sylveon might actually be a pretty good lead as long as the Amogus doesn't show itself.
Amogus and Hitran actually.
Yeah.
I mean, especially just what they mentioned, Suicune and Landorus, it kind of helps against Kangaskhan. You do have this Burn Charge of Skull and Intimidate. It also helps against, what was it, Hitran. It helps against even Landorus itself. You do have water attacks coming out to Landorus. Hitran also doesn't want to face against both water type and a ground type as well.
I think the problem here is that Kenny's Pokemon are just so bulky. It's kind of difficult to take them down.
It's bulky and it does super effective damage. So he has...
he has to, and he can't seem to get the offensive advantage to actually pressure Kenny to react to him rather than reacting to Kenny.
Yeah, so Melvin just has to get through that Landorus Suicune wall that Kenny managed to find himself to be in. That is actually quite advantage against most of Melvin's Pokemon. And once he gets through that, maybe
he can actually get a win. But at the same time, it's going to be a bit difficult. He'll probably have to rely on the Kangaskhan and the Thundurus a fair bit, but as we saw, Kangaskhan and Thundurus kind of fell down pretty early in the game. That's it. He probably also knows that Kenny doesn't have Protect on the Amogus by now.
Yeah, considering that it didn't even protect against a potential Taunt. I mean, the sad part about Melvin's team at the moment is that it does not really have anything that can just outright counter Landorus.
Yeah.
And that's one of the main Pokemon that Melvin is losing against the previous game.
See, this is why Milotic and Bishop are good.
Milotic, Bishop, or at least maybe like a water or water type.
Yeah, but
I mean, do you have Pokemon like Azumarill? You do see
yeah,
relatively of,
Azumarill actually would wreck Kenny's team, to be honest.
I mean, you do have that Heatran there that doesn't want to face good Azumarill.
Actually, I'm quite surprised that Azumarill didn't make it a top card. I think with all these teams running around, it should actually done pretty well. Kangaskhan and Suicune coming up from Kenny's side. Kangaskhan and Heatran coming up from Melvin's side. Okay, so Suicune
wins Heatran. Okay, done.
Kangaskhan versus Kangaskhan. Melvin, we know Melvin's Kangaskhan is faster. We know Melvin's Kangaskhan
can deal quite a lot of damage.
Yeah, it can do quite a lot of damage. And we know both players have Landers, possibly, so they might have them in the back. They might just decide to switch them in to go and mitigate the damage for their own Kangaskhan's.
Melvin unfortunately can't really switch in the Landers to mitigate damage. There is a risk of Suicune just using his call on any of the target.
To be fair, if you switch your Landers into a Heatran Heat Wave and then you get burned, that's not exactly the best either.
Both players doesn't want to really switch in Landers either.
Yeah, so they're kind of stuck at this point. But Heatran does come out, go out of the battle, and Thundurus decides to come in instead.
Thundurus is not a bad option. It's not really outright threatened per se, but if it gets hit by the Kangaskhan, it's still quite a lot of damage.
Well, to be fair, if the low kick goes onto the Kangaskhan, it's not going to do any damage at all. So that's a pretty good safe play from Melvin there.
Yeah, I can see Melvin's Mega Wave first again. So I think we can safely assume Melvin's Kangaskhan is faster than Kenny's.
Yeah, considering the trick room setup that and we see Fake Out
onto the Kangaskhan.
Onto Kenny's Kangaskhan. And Kenny's Kangaskhan says she could not move, but Tailwind coming out. Kenny decides that, you know what, I just want the speed advantage over here. Maybe that will be enough to go and just pressure you into...
I may lose the first turn, but as long as my next few turns I can go earlier than you, it's fine.
That's it. It was very smart of Melvin to bring in the Thundurus here too. So because Thunder Wave definitely nerfs the speed.
Thunder Wave is the one thing that Tailwind users doesn't really want to face, because even if you switch out and switch back in, you can't really cure yourself from paralysis like that.
Yeah.
And Tailwind runs out very easily.
Yes, so this next turn is pretty crucial. If Melvin still runs Protect on his Kangaskhan, he might just use it here just to stall out Tailwind turns and get paralysis spread onto Kenny's team. Likely that if Kenny decides to read that though, he might just go for the return on the Thundurus. And if the thing is, if Melvin decides to read that, he might just go for the low kick on Kenny's Kangaskhan.
Kind of reminds me of the previous match of I think the Nigel versus Melvin, where there was a Tailwind versus Thundurus.
Melvin reading the return onto the Thundurus.
Wow.
Going for the Ice Beam, probably trying to stop the possible Landers switch in. Aegis Slash, totally a good switch in. Melvin reading Kenny despite the fact that there was a Tailwind advantage.
Good call there by Melvin. I mean, sure, you're switching in, not doing a lot of attack, but you're doing a lot more damage than what Kenny is doing against.
Yes, and that was a brilliant switch from Melvin. He didn't want to sacrifice either of his Pokemon, and he kind of suspected that Kenny might be playing mind games, perhaps.
I mean, a quote-unquote obvious move for Melvin's side is just go on a Thunder Wave and to kind of mitigate that Tailwind, but Melvin knows that, decides, okay, he's going to attack my Thundurus, he's going to get rid of my Thundurus. What can I use to try and mitigate that damage instead?
Yes, and keep his Thundurus alive at the same time. He doesn't want to take Ice Beam damage, he doesn't want to take any random return. But now, Kenny bringing out his Landers, I'm not sure whether it'll actually be that useful now that his own Kangaskhan is dead. And but that's it. The members of Melvin's team, Heatran, Thundurus, Aegis Slash.
They can't really deal with Landers, so Melvin has to answer to this threat fast.
If Kenny went for the superpower on the Heatran, that might actually be pretty good for him. It goes for the knockup on the Aegis Slash. Kenny totally being red here.
Well,
double target
onto
the Aegis Slash, and Heatran comes in safely for free. Melvin, either Kenny's making a lot of misplays or Melvin's completely reading what Kenny's going to do.
I mean, okay, the previous turn, another alternative move Kenny could have made is probably superpower straight on.
Superpower straight on. I guess maybe he thought it was a bit too straight, so maybe he thought that Thundurus was switching from that slot. But at the same time, I feel like maybe he could have punished it a bit more, especially since Landers has the Assault Vest. Aegis Slash, not going to do a lot to either Suicune or Landers unless it gets a special defense drop.
Kenny really wants to get rid of the Aegis Slash, you can tell. He's trying to double target it after double targeting it, although accidentally. But it didn't pay off at all. He got damaged.
I mean, if he went for the Scowl superpower on Heatran, that would have punished Melvin so much. And the way you actually get some advantage over Melvin is you punish the switches, because he is a very, very safe player. He will play it safe if he can.
Can you probably think that Melvin will try to switch out to Thunderous to get to kind of soak up that superpower, like how actually Melvin did in the previous game, I think.
Like,
very cool.
okay, so Kenny goes for the Earthquake, but he is at -2, so I don't expect a lot of damage, especially with Shuka on the Heatran.
Yeah, as you can see, it's not a lot.
Heatran going for the Heat Wave, playing it safe. Melvin doesn't need.
Oh!
Oh, but the Landorus avoids.
No, no chance of even burning there if you can't even hit it.
Shadow
So
Ball onto the Suicune. So, well, Melvin read Kenny that the turn before. Now Kenny's kind of flipped the tables, even if he is at -2 on his Landorus.
It's kind of unfortunate though for the Heat Wave miss.
Yeah, but at the same time, now he can't exactly do that again, because now he might hit his own. He'll probably hit his own Suicune.
Yes.
Although Earthquake would probably be able to take out Heatran at that health.
The thing about Melvin's side also, you want to try and defend AG Slash, because being open attack form against even a Suicune or Landorus, especially Landorus,
Yes.
is not something you want it to be unless you are really trying to outpredict your opponent. But Landorus is a Earthquake user, so
The thing is, I have a feeling right now that Kenny isn't sure what Melvin's going to do, whether it should be safer for him play straight or whether he should predict one of Melvin's switches, because it feels like, yeah, it's Melvin's going to switch. Yeah.
Thunderous instead, probably Heatran protecting, I guess.
Heatran using
yeah,
Protect, Thunderous coming in.
Not wanting to get hit by the Earthquake.
Thunderous. Oh, but
good.
Kenny goes for the knockoff on the Thunderous, taking out a Citrus Berry. As Suicune goes for the Skunk on the Heatran, not doing enough, not doing anything at all.
You know if that AG Slash actually decides to King Shield that turn,
yeah, then Landorus will be at -4.
Landorus will be -4. And
Kenny is trying to pull off the reads here, but I'm not sure whether that's enough at this point of time.
it's a bit risky actually, all of Kenny's move. The payout, I'm not too sure whether it's that significant, his payout, the risk to pay
I guess the problem right now is that Kenny knows without his Kangaskhan, his offense is pretty much limited to Landorus and Suicune, so he needs to be able to do as much as he can with them before anything happens. And yeah, a critical hit! Kenny needed that. Kenny totally needed that. In order to take out
Thunderbolt goes straight onto the Suicune. I mean,
probably not going to do a lot, but... Oh, is that critical? No, it's not.
No, it's not. Just as over half the proc the Citrus Berry.
Suicune going for the Tailwind. Well, to be fair, Landorus can be paralyzed, so I guess if Kenny wants to go and focus on his entire offense on Landorus, that makes sense. But at the same time, Melvin still has his Aegis Slash, still has his Kangaskhan.
I don't really think AG Slash can do much. I mean, you are in this Landorus Suicune position wall again that I was talking about.
Yeah, but Landorus is now at -2, and Thunderous has been known to carry hidden power eyes. I'm not sure whether Melvin does.
If you double targets onto the Landorus slot, may be interesting depending whether Kenny switches out or not.
Yeah, I think actually at this point Kenny should be switching out, but he set up Tailwind. He only has like 4 turns to actually fully abuse it, even if his Landorus is at -2.
The thing about switching out for Kenny is that maybe he does not want to risk like unneeded damage or the whatever Pokemon is coming in.
Yeah,
because
but he does actually.
Oh, he does.
Withdraw his Landorus, probably realizing that it is his offense. Amogus coming out. Suicune going for the Protect, probably trying to just play it very safe here. Wanting to see what Melvin does.
Take out onto Suicune, not too bad. I mean, you don't get okay helmet.
Hidden Power Ice going on Among Us, not doing a lot, but still decent damage.
Probably would have taunt the Among Us later, but then again,
if we know that Among Us Rage Powder it's a priority +3, so it's probably higher than taunt, so probably still Rage Powder away.
It's probably gonna be like a taunt.
Yeah, and the thing is, if I guess now would be a nice time for Melvin to switch in his Aegis Slash, and Kenny might just predict that and go for the Skull on the Aegis Slash or the Thunderous. The problem is that Suicune is just.
Suicune is so bulky.
But it's not doing anything much, and eventually the Thunderous is going to just take it out in maybe 2 turns.
But the thing is, right, even it doesn't really do too much damage, Melvin still has to be scared of that bird.
Yes, he is.
Still,
so he might just switch in Aegis Slash just for the sake of switching in Aegis Slash and keeping Kangaskhan from the burn, but I don't think he will do that. And it's Thunderous instead that's switching out for the Aegis Slash.
Why?
Maybe calling the Rage Powder. Oh, but I think Kenny went for the spore. I have a feeling Kenny went for the spore.
Oh, it got the burn.
They got the burn on the Aegis Slash. Return going on to the Among Us. Wow, Melvin does not care about the Rocky helmet
He
at
just
all.
wants to take down the Among Us. Not enough though.
Totally not enough. The Among Us going for the spore on the Kangaskhan.
Oh, man.
And now Melvin's left with a burnt Aegis Slash, a sleeping Kangaskhan, and a Thunderous in the back that probably could switch it, but has to be careful on whose side decides to
The
switch
problem
it.
with Thunders right now that, I mean, it can't really do too much damage at all to any of these bar hidden power eyes or two Landerers.
I think the problem was that Kenny, Melvin was actually predicting a Rage Powder from Kenny at that point in time. So he decided to switch in Kangaskhan, and he didn't expect Kenny just go on the offense with Suicune and Among Us.
And despite that also, Melvin did a slight miscalculation and did not manage to KO that.
Yeah, the Among Us.
And now Landers comes in, gets a free TP onto the
Kangaskhan.
Kangaskhan not going to be able to do much at all.
Scout going on to the Kangaskhan.
The sleeping Kangaskhan especially.
Kenny probably just wants to get rid of it as soon as possible. Aegis Slash going for the attack. Although its turns are numbered now with that burn, pretty unfortunate for Melvin there.
Attacks onto the Mugu stuff, not going to do too much. I mean, Landers itself is relatively bulky.
And we can see that maybe Landers, actually, it seems very likely that Landers will go for the Earthquake, so maybe Melvin might just switch Thunderous in, but even so, he still has to go and like deal with these two again later on.
He could try switching his Thunderous
To be fair,
Kangaskhan and then...
Yeah. To be fair, I think Thunderous Hidden Power Ice is within Landers. Landers is within Thunderous's kill range right now, so.
Kenny is free to... I'm not too sure. I can't remember if the kill is already out, but it's just free to go ahead.
Okay, Kenny apparently has 2 timer warnings, and apparently his next is a game loss, so he needs to make his moves quickly.
Yeah, I think here, man, we already mentioned from the start of this previous challenge that we are going to be straight on timer today. And you can see here, Kenny previous games has been playing around timer. Unfortunately, I think he took it a bit too far today twice for this match, and another one will be a game loss for him. So...
Okay, Kenny actually went to the timer. And we see that Melvin actually reveals White Gun on the Aegis Slash. Kangaskhan wakes up, uses return. Rock Slide totally protecting the Landers.
Not gonna matter, Joe. Kenny is fortunately penalized for extending timer, the turn timer 3 times in one game.
I think that means Melvin actually wins the game.
Melvin will win this game, and then it's gonna
we'll be going on to round 3.
Game 3, yeah.
And yeah, so that was a bit of a...
Yeah, I mean, okay, losing by this kind of timer warning,
I mean,
nobody wants to do that.
The thing is, right, in like in region when you actually have the software, they'll just automatically key in, so you don't have to really worry about losing a game because of timer loss, even though you could totally do that. And
the game will kind of like select the first move for you.
Yeah.
So sure, it will be disadvantage for you, but at least you can still continue.
Yeah,
unfortunately for today, we do insist on going with the timer today for the event. And as mentioned, we are going on concurrent with a Smash tournament. We want to keep the schedule everything, so we have to put on a timer warning. So
unfortunately for Kenny, that is a loss for him.
Yes.
So we'll see whether he can keep up his strategy for the next battle, or whether Melvin will be able to.
I mean, we have to admit though, that Kenny almost had it in the back right then and there.
I would say he had it almost.
So now we're going to be going into game 3 then.
I just hope that it doesn't actually cause either of them to tilt or play in.
Yeah. I mean, okay, even if you are supporting Melvin, you don't want the match to be a throwaway match. You still want it to be a good match.
if you step anticlimactic, if you win solely because your opponent timed out.
I think even Melvin also will feel a bit weird to win by timer again. I mean, hopefully Kenny actually keeps the timer the next game, so we can actually have a full game, a full good game, and then both players can play to their strengths.
Yes, and
it seems like they're going to be.
They're back in team preview already. So as we can see.
Melvin has to count his blessings. He still has not found a way to get rid of that Heatran immediately.
Yeah,
though.
he hasn't got. No, the
no, sorry, the Landers,
and
not the
Suicune.
Heatran.
The Landers and Suicune are the ones that are stopping him from just wiping out Kenny's team.
The Landers and Suicune combo that Kenny has that Melvin has no way to penetrate at all.
And I mean, we have seen some predicts from both sides, but nothing really that high level. Both of them are playing it very, very safe.
I mean, one thing that I could imagine maybe Melvin trying out is probably send out Kangaskhan, Sylveon.
I would like a Kangaskhan lead, I'm just saying.
I mean, Kangaskhan will deal a lot of damage at the start, however...
But it won't deal well with the Among Us.
Yes, if Kenny does send in Among Us or his own Kangaskhan, that would ruin the plan entirely.
Yeah. So, going in, Kenny going for his Among Us Kangaskhan. And Kangaskhan Thunderous coming out from Melvin.
What a surprising lead.
Well, maybe Melvin won't go for the low kick this time round. He might just go for the fake out. Doesn't want to get the Rocky Helmet damage on the Kangaskhan if it's unnecessary. Taunt going on to Among Us. Actually, pretty safe place if his Kangaskhan is the bulky variant that can survive the bulky from an opposing Kang. Oh, let's see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, Kangaskhan is also again because of faster. Actually, Kenny actually keeps his in
the focus.
In the focus. I'm learning from the second game actually.
Yes, his Kangaskhan goes for the fake out. Oh! And the spore going out onto the Kangaskhan.
Finally getting the spore out properly without being taunted immediately.
And that was actually pretty risky, I guess, because I mean, if Melvin went for the low kick and taunt, then that was it for Kenny.
Yeah.
But predicting that Melvin would just, predict that Kenny would Mega Evolve
and go for something.
Yeah,
check. I mean, previously what Kenny were trying to do is
go
just
for the low kick the Kangaskhan right off the bat. Now he goes for the spore. Now the Kangaskhan is in a bad position. Melvin has no choice but to withdraw. He's bringing out his Aegis Slash, doesn't want to take any low kick, doesn't want to take any return. But Kangaskhan on Kenny's side is now free to actually act against Melvin's Thunderous.
The thing about Kenny is that Kenny should know that it was coming, that it's going to be switching out. It is a safe play, and I'm not saying it's a wrong play. But the thing is, you don't want to risk your Kangaskhan to KO so fast that because of one.
But at the same time, I guess it was a predict, I guess. Yeah. Kangaskhan going for the return on the Thunderous. Totally holding Melvin's switch, doing a lot of damage despite the will it be enough? I don't think so.
Very
and
good.
Among Us does not switch out. It actually does go for the spore again onto the Aegis Slash.
Now sending two Pokemon to sleep. Melvin still not taunting the Among Us.
I think Melvin's just expecting Kenny to realize that he has taunt and expecting the Among Us to go for the attack. But instead, Among Us is just sitting there, is just happily sporing. And Kenny's playing it very risky actually, to be honest.
Melvin's like, switch out please switch. Please switch.
Please use Sludge Bomb, please use Giga Drain. And finally he goes for the taunt.
A bit too late though, you have two Pokemon asleep right now.
Admittedly, Kangaskhan can't do much against Aegis Slash, so... and the Among Us goes for the Sludge Bomb.
Killing the Thunderous, and the Kangaskhan not going to be doing anything with this turn, but
yes, so... And the Thunderous paralyzed.
He got paralyzed anyway.
So, okay,
on the bright side, it's safe on PP.
yeah, I guess. Heatran coming out. Melvin's had enough of the Among Us and his shenanigans. He wants to take it out entirely.
Good thing for Melvin that the Kangaskhan is
paralyzed. He's going to take heat wave damage from it. If Aegis Slash makes up this turn, there's a possibility he might take out the Kangaskhan before
he can go
the Kangaskhan can move. So in spite of all of Kenny's efforts, you might actually have just, he might still actually be in a very bad position here. And Kenny does withdraw the Among Us. So is he going to bring out his own Heatran? And he brings out his Suicune instead. Quite a good safe switch, I suppose. But at the same time, if he loses Kangaskhan here, he's going... Oh, and the Heatran goes for the Protect!
Oh.
He's probably trying to stop... He knows that Kenny...
Oh, but he should have went for an attack that turn right there. This was paralyzed anyway.
Yeah, I guess he knows that Kenny it has no way of hitting the Aegis Slash. And if Aegis Slash wakes up, that Kangaskhan is going to go down.
Not too sure why it protected. Probably...
Heatran going for the Heat Wave.
Yeah, can't think of any reason why.
No, because he wants to stall out the turn for his Aegis Slash to wake up.
Oh, critical hit on Kangaskhan. not good. Of course not carrying it, but it helps.
Scout doing about 60% to the Heatran. And the
It does
Aegis wakes
work
up,
out
and
as
it goes for the substitute. And now Kenny can't spore the Aegis Slash. And while he can low kick the Heatran, he still has to deal with the Seeping Kangaskhan at the back. But the Aegis Slash is faster, it is able to take out the Kangaskhan before anything happens.
Although I did mention about Kenny having a wall there with Landers and Suicune, now Melvin has his own wall of Aegis Slash behind the sub.
Yes.
It's not something you want to miss.
And Melvin sends out his Kangaskhan. Turn 1, he can probably avoid the Sucker Punch by using Fake Out. Not like it matters, he's asleep. Suicune can do some damage to the Kangaskhan, but eventually it's gonna...
He does go for the Fake Out just for the heck of it.
Suicune goes for the Scout.
I mean, on the bright side, it would put the Kangaskhan as it's already asleep. Aegis Slash gets a free attack off. Of course,
it's probably going to just take out the Kangaskhan. It's just probably going to take... Oh, it goes for the Shadow Ball on the Suicune. Probably expecting Kenny to switch, maybe?
I'm pretty sure.
And Kangaskhan's paralyzed again. Doesn't really matter what happens.
Paralyzed? Was it paralyzed twice?
3 times.
3 times. Oh.
It was twice in a row earlier, but this is the 3rd time it's
Yeah,
paralyzed.
3rd time. Oh well. Now Melvin's just going to go target, probably going to just target the Suicune.
Yeah, actually, to be honest, if Melvin's Kangaskhan wakes up this turn, he's actually in a pretty good position.
To be honest, keeping Kangaskhan on the field is not too bad as long as his own Kangaskhan doesn't go down too fast, I think.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, his own Kangaskhan will go down quite early. If he takes out Suicune, he still has to deal with 2 other Pokemon in the back.
No, but if you realize, right, if you realize Melvin's Aegis Slash has King Shield, it has Wide Guard, it has Shadow Ball, and it has Substitute. It does not have Flash Cannon. It has no way of taking out that Kangaskhan.
True.
So, if Kenny can somehow get rid of that, of Melvin's Kangaskhan, he actually just wins the game outright. And I think Melvin knows that, but... and Kenny's Kangaskhan is paralyzed!
Okay, that was 3 times in a row.
That was 3... No.
Two times in a row and then 2 more.
No, and now the thing is, Kangaskhan is Kenny's win condition. If he just takes out Melvin's Kangaskhan, Kenny wins the game entirely. Because Aegis Slash has no way of taking out the Kangaskhan.
Melvin needs to take out this Kangaskhan before Kangaskhan hits Melvin.
Yeah, Melvin needs to take out that Kangaskhan. If Kenny realizes this and protects his Kangaskhan while taking out Melvin's Kangaskhan, he's probably... And he has the choice to do that. The question is whether Kenny realizes that, whether Kenny is going to move for that.
Whether Kenny's Kangaskhan can actually move again this turn.
No, he's not gonna move before the Kangaskhan. If Melvin's Kangaskhan wakes up, Kenny's dead. If he leaves the Kangaskhan in.
He has to switch onto something like a Mungus, at least soak up the Kangaskhan damage.
That's why I mean, Kenny is so close to his 3rd Premier Challenge win. All he needs to do is take out Melvin's Kangaskhan. But the question is, will he be able to?
I mean, you can't really say for sure. That thing is paralyzed, and once the sleep is paralyzed.
And Kenny does not switch on his Kangaskhan. Oh no!
Is Melvin's gonna?
And Melvin's Kangaskhan is still asleep. Does Kenny's Kangaskhan move?
Will it move though? That's the question. Oh!
3 times in a row! 3 times in a row!
What?
And well, there's a very high chance that Melvin will just wake up this turn. Does Kenny not realize that his Kangaskhan is his win condition?
Kangaskhan is moving as much as, I don't know, Zhang hitting below wheels or something.
Oh man, no man. Kenny, please switch out please switch out your Kangaskhan. Please switch out your Kangaskhan.
I'm just like, oh my god, the
paralysis is just too much at this point. But Suicune is whittling down Melvin's Kangaskhan.
Kangaskhan is sleeping for the maximum number of sleep turns, and then
No, Kenny!
And
going on to the Kangaskhan. No.
Win con gone.
And that is his 100% win condition gone. Suicune is now...
I mean, it still can take out... Oh, my
it goes for the Skull on the biggest Slash. Now, remember that Kenny still has... In Kenny's back, he has an Among Us. And we don't know what's his 4th Pokemon. But if it happens to be just as... If it happens to be Heatran. If it happens to be Heatran. Kenny might just lose this game because he can't take out that Kangaskhan.
Oh, there's Landers.
But we know that Melvin's Aegis Slash has Wide Guard.
you can't go for Earthquake, but you can go for
You can go for Superpower. Superpower is going to take it out, yeah.
Superpower is going to take it out, no problem.
Yeah, then you just have to deal with the Aegis Slash.
Aegis Slash just has to...
Sucker Punch coming out!
might as well just get some damage onto it, yes.
Yeah.
If he does take out the Landers though, it will be kind of great. Superpower does go straight at the Kangaskhan, taking it out a bit too late though. Kenny's own Kangaskhan already went off.
Why didn't you switch this one in earlier? Okay, so yeah, Superpower takes out Landers.
Goes on to a tech bomb.
I think quite honestly, he can still win this. He can still win this, but you know, it would have been amusing. It would have been amusing.
Yeah. And this is probably just going to go shield form next turn.
Yeah, he's just going to go shield form, or I mean,
get recovery.
And Kenny's just going to go for knockoff and a Scowl from the Suicune. I mean, it's a very, I mean, there's a possibility that Aegis Slash might be able to win this game. All of Kenny's Pokemon are quite low health except for the Amogus.
It's really up to the Landorus and either the Landorus itself or whether Suicune burns the Aegis Slash.
Actually, he might just switch out Landorus, bring in the Amogus, and after that, just keep scouting the Suicune. And if he gets it burned, that's great.
Yeah.
And eventually, no, actually,
Kenny actually has two ways of winning. Either his Landorus takes out Aegis Slash.
The thing is, he has to be very careful at this point in time because if the Aegis Slash manages to get a sub up, then Amogus was dead. Wait.
Kenny needs to either make sure his Landorus survives long enough to get rid of Aegis Slash or Suicune burns it.
Yes.
Either one of those two conditions, Kenny pretty much wins.
But the thing is, right, what is Melvin going to do? Because if Suicune decides to go, if Suicune goes for the Protect, then maybe Landorus decides to switch out and Aegis Slash decides to go for the sub. Oh, but...
Oh, what?
Kenny goes for the Earthquake.
There you go.
Melvin left his Aegis Slash in play form. And Kenny has won the game. So, this will be Kenny's third Premier Challenge win.
I remember the previous Premier Challenge, we were all kind of like laughing at how Kenny got the critical hits or flinches, and now Kenny got paralyzed 5 times.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess Hex balances out.
It balanced out, but throughout multiple pieces, but sure.
Yeah.
But he did still manage to go through even with that 3 paralysis. So I guess we'll be going for an interview for Kenny for a winner. And perhaps with Melvin as well later as a second place winner for today.
I'm not sure about that, but sure, I guess. Depending on what our schedule is like. Yeah.
So I guess we'll...
I mean, it's like in between the two of them, they were struggling so much with the first 2 games, and then suddenly Kenny just comes out and it's like...
Watching the paralysis was kind of like, funny though.
Oh man, but Kenny was making all the calls in the first few turns of this game, although I still feel as though, you know, if he just got rid of the Kangaskhan, then Kangaskhan win.
It's good. It's kind of good for Kenny, to be honest, that the sleep turns were the maximum sleep turns. If actually we woke up earlier and got rid of Kangaskhan a lot earlier,
Suicune would not have been able to do that much damage to the Kangaskhan.
Kangaskhan wouldn't go down so early because it wouldn't have been damaged at all. But then again, Landorus who can just come in and super power straight to it wouldn't make too much of a difference.
Yeah.
So I mean, so good for Kenny, although he didn't manage to get that 100% win condition, he still ended up winning the game in the end.
Yeah, I mean...
Alright, so we're going to be going into an interview with our second place winner of today, Melvin first. And then after that will be with Kenny. So see you guys soon.
And we're here with Melvin, Melvin K, who is our finalist for this first Blaziken Series Premier Challenge. And today he has won a cute little froakie and a finalist cash voucher, cash prize actually $30 if I'm right. Yay! Okay, you're not supposed to. You need to take pictures of them later. So, and these are sponsored by Microsoft and Zappy Games. So, Melvin, how was your last game?
It was quite as planned. Well, life goes on.
I mean, it's like life goes on. I mean, do you? I mean, I think your second game you were actually reading Kenny a bit more, right? And then suddenly third game he just brings out the spore and everything just went downhill. Do you think you could have recovered though?
Yeah, he paralyzed a bit too much.
Yeah, but
maybe if he would have procced again and then my Kangaskhan targeted his Suicune down, that would have worked well.
Yeah, that might have been enough. Well, anyway, I mean, 27 CP is not that bad. And you're going to Malaysia next weekend, right? For the Malaysian regionals?
Don't let the Malaysians know.
I think they already know. They're probably watching the stream. I'm sorry. It's okay. It's okay. So, tough day, is it? How were your battles like for today?
Oh, quite okay. I didn't do as good as I planned to be. Went 4-2, got lucky.
I think it's mostly the
happy
case.
with the result.
Yeah, I mean, you went top 2, you got 27 CP, and you got $13. Yeah, it's not bad. So, hopefully we'll see more of you in the future. And do stick around. I think we're going to do a bit of a picture session later on.
Alright.
Yeah. And I think after, we'll be moving on to an interview with our champion, Kenny Lee, who has now won Premier Challenge win over you.
Doesn't matter. I don't keep the score. It's an invisible crown for me.
Okay. Right.
Alright. Cool. Very sweet.
And this is our champion for our Blaziken Premier Challenge Series first PC, Kenny Lee. Those were intense 3 matches. I think you're completely stoned right now. Yeah, right. How do you feel? Are you okay? Were you on coffee?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Were you on coffee?
I think I take a few sleeps just now.
Okay, so you're not totally on coffee. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. So congratulations.
Yeah.
You've won a $50 cash prize. Yeah, and this guy. How do you feel about Groudon? Is he going to be your new favorite in VGC16?
I think Groudon definitely will be the next Landorus team.
So are you going to use him? Are you going to build a team around him, or?
Yeah, I think everyone should use it. Yeah.
Wow, so you're going to encourage everyone to use Groudon. Okay, Ken. Okay, so we'll have a photo taking session later and stuff. But do you have any words you want to say about VGC 2015, since this is your last?
Yeah, I would like to thank you, Toron, for the guidance through this VGC 15. Yeah.
Okay, I feel so touched.
Yeah, and also the Mirage Islanders.
Yeah.
There are a lot of them. I cannot. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're glad to have you. I mean, woohoo, you went to Worlds in your first year playing competitive Pokemon. Yeah. So, Hopefully we'll see you in Worlds next year.
Yeah,
You're
thanks.
aiming for that, right?
I hope so.
Okay. Yeah, and I think that concludes our stream for tonight. And once again, we are the Mirage Island from Singapore. And do check our Facebook page out to keep up to date with our tournaments and stuff. Once again, I'm Wyan, and thanks for having us